Obviously, I'm not talking about getting naked and running through a field. I would be out of my comfort zone, uncomfortable, but that's not really helping me as a human being. I want to put myself in pressurized situations. Hello, friends, enemies, well-wishers, heroes, dainty folk. I don't know. It's a bald a-hole here, Simon Miller, and today we're going to do a Q&A. Nice and simple. I said we're going to do one in the first week of every month. Today's the 1st of September, 2020, and you guys asked me a bunch of interesting, sometimes strange questions, so I thought we'd get into it. So I know what audience retention's like on YouTube. Let's just start. And we start with Bloody Reckless, who says, help, worrying. I swallowed an ice cube whole last night and I haven't pooped it out yet. Is it stuck? Shall I see a doctor? I understand that you're joking around. I understand that you're being facetious. But of course, swallowing an ice cube whole is going to hurt a lot. Those things can be big. But as I'm sure you figured out, yes, you are in trouble. I hope you did see a doctor. And if not, I'm sending you good thoughts. LMV27, definitely the real name, says fitness question. I like how... I love all these questions, but I like it in case I read it and went, I don't know the genre. Fitness question, any advice on building my pull-up reps? I started at 1 and can now do 5 to 7, but really looking to be able to do sets of 20. I mean, you can do assisted pull-ups. A lot of the time you have those machines that has... I don't really get how it works. It's a platform that's attached to some weights, and that will help you do more pull-ups. So you can do your 5 to 7, and then let's say you do 7, you can do your remaining 13 using the assisted bit, and that will get you to 20, and then you can do 8 and do 12 assisted and so on and so forth. Another good way to do it is to make sure you do one whole set where you pull yourself up and you hold yourself there for as long as possible. I'm talking about you're holding onto a cliff, and if you let go, you're going to die, and then lower yourself down really slowly. You're only going to be able to do 2-3 of them max if you're doing it right, and all these little things will just build your back. But with pull-ups, it's kind of hard. 20 pull-ups with the right form is incredible. I don't think I can do 20 pull-ups with the right form. Obviously, it's going to... People say it depends on your weight, but, the more you weigh, the stronger you'll be, and vice versa. Who knows? That's not always a one-to-one thing, but they are the best ways to do it, I think. Lorna Hunter says, how to get back into exercise when you slack so the motivation, ambition, and all the reasons prior have slipped. We've talked about motivation before. You just need to... Well, firstly, you just need to go, right? Because you are in control of yourself. Even if you have 0% motivation, you still control your limbs and your brain. Well, the brain kind of controls you, but don't want to talk about it. If you make yourself go to the gym, you're still there. When you are there, you're more likely to do something. But that's obviously not a one-stop... it's not going to help you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks down the line. So you just need to reestablish your goals. You need to remember why you go in the first place. On occasion, if you do drag yourself back and you have a great session and you get all the chemical release afterwards, the endorphins, that's probably going to be enough to hook you back in. But you need a goal, you need a plan. You need to remember what you were doing before, and then you just need to refocus that. So that way, when you start heading back in that direction, you're going to feel good, you're going to feel satisfied, you're going to feel excited, and you're going to want to keep going. The other thing is, don't beat yourself up. That's the number one problem I see. People think, I'm a terrible person, I feel so guilty, I don't have motivation. Well, maybe there's a reason. Again, maybe you've broken up with someone. Maybe, unfortunately, you've lost a family member or a friend or whatever. Maybe work's difficult. Maybe you're struggling financially. All of these things are going to break you down. It's why we go to comfort eat when we don't feel good, because that releases dopamine. Like every time you're about to eat some awesome food, you will feel excellent beforehand because your brain is so excited. It's like, I release dopamine to encourage you to eat the damn thing. So there's loads of different things it can be. Do not beat yourself up. Take it lightly, step by step. And again, having a goal, having a plan is always paramount. I remember I had slipped off my diet and weight training a little bit. In fact, I decided to. This was years ago. And then a couple of weeks after I'd done it, and I wasn't eating that badly, but I wasn't really calorie counting, I got an email saying, Simon, would you like to debut as a professional wrestler? I was like, you damn right I do. And then all of a sudden, within 24 hours, I was back on my diet. I had a focus, I had a plan, so on and so forth. You can absolutely do the same thing. George Hennon says, where do you see yourself in 15 years' time, still on YouTube, or do you have any other plans? Well, I'll still be bald and an a-hole. We know this much. I mean, it's so hard. Ideally... And the thing with YouTube is you don't know what the long-term or the longevity is of it, right? Because it's still a brand new platform, really. I would just like more and more opportunities to keep coming my way whatever they may be. I always want to progress. I always want to evolve. I always want to look for new things. So I think it's important. The number one thing I want to do in my life is put myself in uncomfortable situations or out of my comfort zone. Obviously, I'm not talking about getting naked and running through a field. I would be out of my comfort zone and uncomfortable, but that's not really helping me as a human being. I want to put myself in pressurized situations, because 9 times out of 10, if you're in a pressurized situation, it's usually a good situation. Like Gary Lineker, a famous football player, said that. He said even when he used to get massively nervous before playing football matches, big games, he just accepted it for what it was. He's like, what a lucky person I am to be in a position where I get to feel like this. And that's what I want. So in terms of 15 years, I don't know. Would I like the YouTube thing to blow up so that, I've got millions of subscribers? Of course. Do I want to keep doing my what culture stuff? Of course. Do I want my wrestling career to go somewhere when the doors reopen? Of course. Do I want new things to come into my lap? Absolutely. I'd love to do more acting. I'd love to do more voiceover work. I'd love to do who knows what. I don't know if I'd be good at those things, but I just want to try them. So hopefully in 15 years, as much as I hate these kind of terms, I will have a content creator base that is kind of, divided up into all these little things, and I can continue on with this stupid job, because that's what it is. I know how lucky I am. I do work my ass off, but I still, everybody should work their ass off. It doesn't mean anything. So yeah, hopefully things just keep coming my way and I can keep smashing ass. I don't deserve it. Danger Zone, are you hoping to go to AEW when the pandemic is over? Wrestling promotion, if you're mostly here for my fitness stuff. I mean, I'd like to go there before the pandemic, during the pandemic, after the pandemic. That ties in perfectly to the question we were just talking about. I'd be behind that curtain or in the tunnel waiting to go out, and I'd be terrified, but I'd be terrified in a good way. That would be a dream come true. It's out of my hands, obviously, so we keep everything crossed, and like I say, we keep working hard and we see. Niwan Thanker, who says that I pronounce his name different every time I do a Q&A. I'm sorry, dude, I'm trying the best. I hope I haven't disrespected you, though. Do you think there's a possibility that AEW will buy WWE or vice versa? Also, I hope you really don't mean it when you say Big E should defeat The Fiend to become the Universal Champion in 2020. Well, I do mean it. I don't say things I don't mean. And no, I can't say AEW would rather go out of business than sell to WWE. It was different with WCW because they were owned by Time Warner and they were just selling off assets. And World Championship Wrestling was losing a bunch of cash that they don't care. The Khans, and Tony Khan owns AEW, he wouldn't sell to WWE. His family's billionaires. He'd just shut it down and be like, well, that was a shame. Maybe he'd do something with a tape library, but that's a different thing. And I don't think AEW will ever buy WWE. Like, my mum doesn't call it pro wrestling. She calls it WWE, and she thinks that's the right term. Again, doesn't call it MMA, calls it UFC. Disney, when you get to that kind of level, it's really hard. The only person that's going to stop you is you. And I don't think that WWE again would just vanish one day if it was to really hit the wall. I don't think it would be bought by All Elite Wrestling, but you never say never. Stu Morrison, hey Simon, was wondering if you're going to continue to do videos on mental health and motivation. I thought I did. I mean, I tie them into fitness now just because there seems to be an audience for that. And why the hell wouldn't you? But no, I think 99% of all my videos have mental health and motivational message in them. Or at least they're meant to. Maybe I'm doing a bad job. Daniel Ekatet maybe says, I want to train legs twice a week, but I get very painful DOMs in my legs and they only recover after 5 to 6 days. How can I reduce recovery time? Well, you can eat more. That's the best way to recover. Sleep more. Stretching after workouts going to help. I mean, if you want the other thing though, if you are smashing your legs so much that you have DOMs, even 6 days later, maybe you need to train them once a week. I mean, obviously, I would say that wouldn't do that personally, but if you've still got delayed onset muscle soreness, or you can just train through the pain, really. I mean, it kind of sucks, but working out should get rid of some of the lactic acid and all of that. But yeah, eating more, drinking more water, sleeping more, these are the main things for recovery. You just need to recover. So however you would usually recover, do that. Musketchy77 says, name is Geechee. Oh, that's interesting. I'm new to training. How do I figure out how many calories my workouts burn? Best wishes. Again, it's trial and error, like everything is when you first get into fitness. But remember, it doesn't actually have to be, because trying to figure out how many calories you burn during a workout is really, really hard. You're going to have to use some kind of device, like a watch, or if you're doing cardio on a machine, you'll obey that number. And it's lies. It's bollocks. It comes up with a new thing all the time. It's not going to be accurate. However, it is accurate to you. So what I mean by that is, let's say you burn 1,000 calories on the treadmill. You did not, unless you went absolutely nuts. But as long as the next time you burn 1,005 calories, that's still specific to your own goal. So it's not 1,000 calories in real world, but it's 1,000 calories in the world that you've just created for yourself. So it goes up, you're burning more, and if it goes down, you're burning less. You have you have something that's, you have a barometer, you have a baseline. In terms of how many calories you're doing working out, yeah, I mean, I've never used one, but I guess a Fit Watch would probably tell you that. And once more, take it with a pinch of salt. but just adapt to that number. As long as you use that number, you'll be able to figure it out. But it is a guessing game because no one's going to be able to tell you, because some days you're going to work a little bit harder, some days you're going to work a little bit lighter. So come up with a round figure, use that as your baseline, and then adjust to suit. Marius says, I know it's very early to ask this, but how would you imagine yourself in your 50s? A lot of questions. So we've got 15 years in my 50s, again, still bald. I mean, I really, really don't know. Hopefully, with a cool job still like this, doing all right financially, and it's just the same answer I just gave, and enjoying more opportunities. Seth, what kind of cardio do you do, and how do you make sure it benefits your lifting and doesn't hurt it? I do the cardio that I enjoy, to the point that maybe it hurts my lifting a little bit, but I'm not going to do cardio if I don't enjoy it, because I think cardio was born out of evil and hell. So I do fasted cardio in the morning. I do 1 hour. I'm going to say this, comments will go nuts. Yes, I have a cup of coffee beforehand. It's not fasted cardio then. I mean, how pedantic do you want to be? How pedantic do you want to be? It's minuscule. I want to enjoy my life, damn it. Some guy went, just drink water. And I was like, just f*** off. I'm going to leave that one in. Probably won't. I'll bleep it out. But I mean, the one thing I would say is don't do cardio right before you're going to do weights, because you're going to be knackered. If you want to have a good weight session, you know, it's not going to be as beneficial. But maybe you enjoy that, so you should do it. Maybe you want to do it afterwards. Fit it into your life as and when it works. Do not let it dominate anything. Do not let it stress you out. Find what works for you and do that. There's no right or wrong. Like, I know that fasted cardio isn't better for me, but it sets me up for the day and it makes me feel good. And why the hell wouldn't you want to feel good? Out and About says, what are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? Is your channel aimed mainly for the guys? Interesting. I'm Phil Mel. Can I be in the BLC? Everyone can be in the BLC. The big little club. Doesn't matter if you're big. Doesn't matter if you're little. You're in the fitness club, which is about, establishing your goals and going after them. Males, females, kids, goats, elephants, giraffe, rainbows. It doesn't matter. Everybody can be in the BLC. I've never really thought about who my audience is, for honest. I mean, more guys watch according to YouTube analytics, but I'm hoping that my advice can be applied to anyone, male, female, or goat, apparently. But, that's my point. No matter what kind of bubble you fit into, hopefully I'm giving you something that can work. And if not, I will try and change that. In terms of intermittent fasting, I don't like it. I've tried it, but I enjoy getting up and eating, like the cardio thing. But it does work, because you can see fitness guys and girls out there doing it and they achieve results. All diets work to a certain point of view. I think you just need to find the one that you're most comfortable with and the one that inspires you, because then you're going to stick to it, right? I like eating. So any diet where I can eat every few hours, that's the one I'm going to do. When I'm hungry, I'm not a good person. I'm a bad person. I basically turn into the Joker. So intermittent fasting, yes, is an absolutely good way to do it. It fits a lot of people's lifestyles. Give it a go. Give it some time. Give it 8 to 12 weeks and see if it helps you. And if not, you can try something else. Kevin Gomez says, what is the best time of the day to work out? One of my bros enjoys exercising in the morning, but my other bro enjoys working out at night. I say it depends on what you like and what fits your schedule, but does it matter in terms of bulking up? Thanks, Simon. You're amazing. I genuinely mean that. That's very nice. I wasn't expecting that at all. Usually it's, Simon, you're an absolute waster and I hope you die. Yeah, there is no right or wrong. Again, make it fit your day. That kind of ties into the cardio thing. It's better if you can go late afternoon, simply because you will have eaten more, and the more calories and carbohydrates, proteins and fats that you have in your system, the more productive you're probably going to be at the gym. Like if you just woke up at 6 a.m. and you went to the gym completely empty, you're probably going to struggle. Not everybody. Some people can find a way. Whereas you go after 3 or 4 meals, again, you have fuel. You're like a car. You're like an engine. But, I think you said one of your bros enjoys working out at night, so that's cool. That's cool as well. 5 p.m. is my time, if you want specifically. If I can go at 5 p.m. to the gym, I think I'm at my most productive. Carlos says, hey, Simon, I have a question. How fast can I get to my genetic limit? How long is a piece of string? Don't even worry about stuff like that. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Do you. Make sure you're improving every day. Smash it in the gym. Remember your own competition and see where you get. And Drew says, when a new wrestler moves up from NXT to Raw, how would you recommend they be booked? It all depends on the wrestler. Like Keith Lee just debuted, and I'd be all right if he just ran through everyone. I actually do think WWE's doing a good job. But yeah, if you're trying to establish them as a star, treat them like a star. Like some people still say, well, we can't do what we did with Goldberg. And I was like, why not? Anybody you took, right? Anybody. I mean, literally anybody. Doink the Clown from back in the 90s. You took Doink the Clown, and he appeared on Raw in 2020, and he ran through every single person 187 times, whatever it was, and had a record of 187-0. He would get over. People would love him. Everyone would look at him and go, well, that's the most dominating guy ever. Some things always work, but I get there's politics and there's balancing and their booking. But it's as simple as that. If you want to make someone a star, Treat them like a star. Anita says, I would love to see a collab with you and Greg Doucette about basically everything gym-related. It'll be so much fun. You are both amazing, give amazing tips, and have a wonderful sense of humor. Well, I take that as a massive compliment. Jabba says, if you can only go to the gym 4 days a week on a push-pull legs routine, should you change your routine? No, I don't think, well, yes, probably. If I can only go 4 days a week, I'd probably take shoulders out of push. So I would go push without shoulders, pull legs, and then I put shoulders in there. Because I think you want to be going to the gym 4 times a week and taking 3 days off, as you'd have to. But that would be okay too. Even if you just went 3 times a week doing that, if you pushed it hard enough, you can find it working for yourself. But obviously twice a week per muscle part is optimal. North Star says, thoughts on the new Batman trailer? I think it's mega badass. Love the dark turn they're taking with it. That's a bit much. The Dark Knight was pretty dark. I thought it was good. I'm intrigued. I need to see more. Not 100% sold on Robert Pattinson, but I'm basing that on a 3-minute trailer, so I'm not going to say more. But I've watched it a lot, and I liked it, and I'm very, very excited. Omar says, what's good, Simon? Hope you're doing well. How often do you recommend changing exercises, routines, weight, etc.? Well, weight you should be changing every single week if you can. Progressive overload, say with rep ranges. Again, you're doing 10 reps of bicep curls for 4 sets. Next week, make sure you do 11 reps, because then you know that you're evolving and heading in the right direction. In terms of changing your routines, stick with it for as long as you possibly can. I find it goes the other way. People change stuff up way too quickly. It didn't work. It's like you did it for half a day. You're in the gym for like 3 minutes when it doesn't work. Of course it didn't work in that sense. Stick with it. If you want to change it 6 months down the line, then that's fine. But then you gave it a chance to actually, give you some positive feedback. In no other world would you ever do this. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just yelling at the people that think it. Take your time with it, and yeah, after a real long time, if you don't think you're progressing anymore, give it a change. Black Jam says, would you start your own brand of supplements and or fitness gear if the opportunity presented itself? The Baldy brand or brand by Baldy? I mean, that ties into the earlier questions. If I ever got there, my word, I'd be the happiest man ever, because look at the success I did. Probably more of fitness clothes than supplements, because there's enough supplements out there. And what can I, some bald guy on YouTube protein, you'd be like, I'm all right, thanks. But maybe some kind of fitness gear, yes, that would be cool. And to finish off, Ben Curtis says, did you find your mental health improved since the gym reopened? Absolutely. To the point that I can't quite fathom how much I enjoy going to the gym. I think we did a video at the time where I was like, it's like drugs to me. I probably shouldn't enjoy anything this much. Nothing should have such an influence on your mental health. But hey, we're all different. I think as long as you're aware about that stuff and it's not hurting you, and the gym isn't actually like being addicted to drugs, which obviously may take you on a bad path. But yes, hugely. I hated working out in my house. I knew that I did, but I didn't realize to the extent. And now that I get to go back, it's been, I've just felt better as a human being. I felt more productive. I felt more positive. I don't feel like I'm, trapped up in this little room anymore. So yes, the gym is my sanctuary. I know loads of people say that and it's cheesy and it does sound stupid, but it's true. I love it there. And when I'm there, I have no problems other than can I pick this heavy thing up off the floor? I'm terrified they're going to close again, but health and safety first. But the answer is absolutely yes. There you go, September 2020 Q&A done. Keep an eye on the community feed, and we'll definitely do another one in October. No, what's next? Yeah, October. Flippin' Nora. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, leave a comment below. Make sure you go in that descriptions. There's links for Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, merchandise. There's also another video on the screen. Give it a click. See if it's for you. And that's about it, right? That's all we do. Thank you to everyone that has supported me on Patreon. That's how I keep this channel going. And I will see you when I see you.